What's up, guys? Welcome to Triple Threat Talks. And tonight is Conspiracy Theory Thursday slash pop culture. I'm Chris. This is Jen. And
What's
we're going to
up?
be talking about something insane.
I can't wait. I love everything about the Brittany Murphy um genre. I'm gonna call her a genre
She
because she
is
is.
the bad bitch genre.
She it's a bad bitch genre.
It's a genre.
Yeah, I am obsessed with her. She's iconic. She's everything. And I just can't wait to talk about this, deep dive
Mhm.
into it. What the actual F happened,
I know. Oh my God, I'm
with
wearing
her.
my icon shirt. I just realized that.
It's perfect. I'm
It
wearing my
is.
friend shirt. Ceci stole this from her. Oh my God, I was like, is it inside out? Stole this from Ceci. Maybe 2 years ago, but it's the 90-day rule. If it's at your house for more than 90 days, it's yours.
Yeah.
So, I think we should begin by talking about how iconic she was and all the roles that she played in. 8 Mile,
Yep.
uh, Clueless, duh.
Yeah.
Clueless?
Duh.
The Girl Interrupted.
Yeah. Oh, she had an amazing role in that movie.
There's
Freeway.
just
People don't,
Freeway.
people have no idea about that movie. It's really old. It's like one of her first movies ever. And I think it actually was Reese Witherspoon's first movie ever.
Yeah,
And Brittany
one of
Murphy's
hers.
character, yeah. And Brittany Murphy's character in that movie is so ridiculously good. She was just so
Yeah.
talented. If you haven't seen Freeway, please go watch it.
So all those roles were like so iconic, right? Everybody looked at her as the second leading person. Other people like Angelina Jolie and then Eminem and all of these people got so much more recognition than what she did, and she deserved so much more. And a
Yep.
lot of people would also argue that that's what started her downward spiral.
Yeah, I would agree with that.
The tabloids are relentless. They're still relentless, but back then they had no shame in their game.
No,
I
they
mean,
definitely picked on her.
as long
No.
as they're getting their shot, as long as they're getting their cover page photo, as long as the paparazzis are getting paid, it
Yep.
is what it is. And I don't think
Correct.
Brittany was ever asking for the bad press.
And she was so talented too. Like she could sing. She
Mm-hmm.
sang. I do not remember what movie this is. If you are watching on YouTube, dear God, comment the name of the movie below. But there's a movie, I think she was in it with Ashton Kutcher, but there's a scene where she's lying on a bathroom floor and she's singing this song a cappella, and it's her singing, and her voice is, oh my
Like an
God,
angel.
oh, beautiful. So
Her,
talented.
she had a dance teacher once say, I knew Brittany was a star every single time she walked into that studio.
What's
She
her
became
zodiac?
one.
What's her zodiac sign?
Oh, okay. Brittany's a Scorpio.
Oh,
I know. Okay, so Chris does not vibe with Scorpios.
no, no, no. I vibe really well with Scorpio men. I
Me
have
too.
never met, honest to God, I have never met a Scorpio woman that ended well with me. Like it always starts off great, but I
Mm-hmm.
can't handle like their emotional aspects because I'm a
Yeah.
Gemini. I'm very disconnected
Mm-hmm.
from people's like from like rash emotions. I just shut down. And every Scorpio, not every, I'm not going to generalize it and say it's going to be every Scorpio, but every Scorpio I've met
Most.
has had like some kind of extreme outburst in front of me that totally
Mm-hmm.
turned me off.
When the tabloids were saying she has an eating disorder, she has a drug problem, she has this, she has that, because they were just trying to get
Mm-hmm.
the perfect picture of her looking so disheveled.
I very vividly remember this.
Mm-hmm.
Her being very, very thin.
Yeah.
And they would post, I swear to God, I stand by this. They edited a lot of those photos of them being like so gaunt and thin. And they would call them
Oh,
like the anorexic friends or whatever, like that little group, like Lindsay Lohan and Tara. What the hell is her last name? I don't even remember. Tara. She hung out with like Paris and Lindsay Lohan. my God, I feel so bad that Tara Reid.
Yeah. Paparazzi still take it so far. The Kardashians, they will Photoshop their ass 10 times bigger than what
Yeah.
their ass actually looks like. That's not even what their ass looks like.
That's why they hire their own paparazzi. Like the Kardashians hire
Right.
their own paparazzi, and everybody's like, oh, it's to Photoshop so they can Photoshop themselves and always look great.
No.
I think personally, they hire their own paparazzi so that their photos can't be edited to the negative. Like, who would want their photos
Exquisite.
edited? Right. Like, who wants that? I would hire my own
No.
paparazzi too. Like, here, have the
Me
fucking
too.
pictures, but you're not going to make me look like an asshole. Like, I'm over that.
People
It's
try
defamation.
to, make them something that they're not. And by
Mhm.
doing that, they actually make people believe there's something that they're not.
No, I think that
And
there should be very strict laws for the
mhm.
paparazzi and for media.
So Brittany starts having different relationships, of course, over her time of being in Hollywood, as any woman shall do. I mean, she's doing what she's supposed to do. Any
Yeah,
woman would do that,
trying to find love, of course.
Do your thing, sweetheart. Nobody's talking about the man
No.
that's doing it as well. Anyways, she gets into a relationship with this man named Simon. Simon.
You literally, that is the best way to say his name.
So Simon, her friends tried to warn her about him. They said that he has evidence of criminal history and he's not a good guy and you should stay away from him. But she was like, no, like I am so in love with him. They even went as far as saying he's in debt. Like he's just trying to get a little piece of you. But here's where it gets crazy. Simon started cutting off phone lines, anyone or anything that had to do with Brittany, everything that had to go through him. And
Ugh.
that's where alarms were raised. I mean, the tornado sirens are going off, right?
Mhm.
Of course. He made himself her manager, her makeup artist, and her agent.
He was a makeup artist.
For sure. He was self-proclaimed at a lot of things. And since he was illegal in the US,
He was
was able to
illegal.
he was illegal in the US.
His
And
visa was expired.
yes.
Oh.
And a lot of people were saying he's trying to get you for that visa. Like, come on. He even
Mhm.
passed comments to people close to her, like, oh, Brittany didn't have as much money as I thought she did.
Well, how much money do you have?
Exactly. And funny you bring that up because he was a few $100,000 in debt. Apparently, this man also had a child.
Did she know about the child?
No. She's cut off from everything going on in her life. He's old. He's not cute, by the way.
Yeah, I've seen pictures of him. He's very mid, if that mid at best.
You're
At best.
giving him mid? No. Chris, come on.
Try to be nice. He's
No.
dead, isn't he dead?
Okay, well he's dead.
Come
So I guess
on.
we'll give a
Give him
okay,
mid.
we'll give a mid because he's dead. Anyways, so I just spit and I'm not cutting any of that out. Anyways, so she goes on the shoot in 2009. He set all of this up for her and she ends up getting fired from the shoot. The reason the production company says she gets fired from the shoot is because Simon, Midboy, is inebriated. He like doesn't know how to act. He doesn't know how to do this, that, the other. He's like acting a fool. So they fired her. He goes on to say, since he's probably her publicist, manager, agent, he's all of the above, makeup artist, hairstylist, photographer, all of the bullshit that he can be. He's like, no, there was water in our trailer. There was this. There was that. This is in November, right?
Mm-hmm.
She ends up dying a month, not even a month later.
Wow.
after getting fired from this shoot. And this is where shit starts to get real.
So she was sober during this shoot and fine, but he was inebriated to the point that he couldn't prep her for what she had to do. So that's why she got fired, because that kind of doesn't make sense.
I can't say that she was sober because I wasn't
Mhm.
there,
It's kind of
you
seeming like
know?
maybe both of them were possibly not able to
People were
perform.
definitely saying that she was doctor shopping and he was doctor shopping. And a lot
Oh,
of people say that that's so common in celebrity culture. But like, come on, like doctor shopping?
yeah,
Come
no,
on.
that actually was a pretty that actually was a thing back
No,
then.
I
It's
mean,
not
it's
now,
still,
but
I think it's still probably a thing.
it's
But
not
like,
now because you have the PMP. So all of your
mhm.
narcotic prescriptions are logged into a database. So you can't really doctor shop because you are so regulated now. But like, yeah, back
Mhm.
then, oh my God, there were no regulations. There was no way to
And
see
you're
who had
going
been
by a
where.
different name because you're like, I'm a
Exactly.
celebrity. I'm a
Well, yeah.
celebrity. I'm trying
Well,
to go by a different
and you get
name.
celebrity VIP. I will give you whatever you want
And you
service.
could pay for it
Mm-hmm.
with cash,
Of course.
right? So December 20th, Brittany collapses right after all of this stuff happens and she passes away. The things that follow that are what makes me so uneasy and I just don't know how to feel about it, honestly.
Yeah.
Simon decides to go on Radar Online, the tabloid, and he does this entire house tour of Brittany's
After she's
house.
passed.
After she's passed, he's definitely disheveled. He's like, look how many cameras we have. He's like, we have 52 cameras. Well, look at these photos that I took. See these photos? We put these framed photos up whenever we were at her funeral. That's where these photos were. I took them. I took these photos.
What the
Completely crazy. Like nothing that you would ever expect your spouse to act like, right?
No, that's sounds like he's just like trying to profit off of her death.
Oh, 1000%. I think he was reaching for coins. He goes on Larry King Live a few months later and he says, there's no need for an autopsy. She's 32 years old. Brittany's 32.
Mm-hmm. Young.
Why would you not want an
Yeah.
autopsy? And she was a little bit sick before she passed away. She had an appointment with a doctor, but she
Yeah.
was really into holistic medicine.
She
So
had pneumonia, right?
the autopsy ended up reporting that she had pneumonia, anemia, and oh, you're frozen.
What? Still?
You good?
Yeah, now you're frozen.
Can you hear me?
Yeah. Can you hear me? Hello? I gotta record. You, that was so wild. Literally, I wish. Okay, so I just have to say this.
Holy
Jen,
moly.
that was so wild. So, right as she was talking about like what she had, Jen's camera froze, and then her mic, and then she said, I froze, and then she got booted, and then came back on, and we were talking, and I said, I wonder if that's Brittany, like manipulating our cameras. And then something knocked in my dining room so loud that Jen literally heard it over my mic.
I don't think it's Brittany. I think it's Simon.
Ew, I didn't like how that felt. I didn't like
I'm
that.
sorry.
I have vibey vibes like I'm not by myself. That's what I'm talking about. That's so bizarre.
So Simon ends up collapsing and passing away after doing this Larry King interview. Then Brittany's dad kind of comes out of the woodworks, but I don't think it was in a malicious way. Her mom was saying, I cannot believe her dad is coming out and saying all this stuff. But her mom was also sleeping in the same bed as her husband right after Brittany passed away.
Wait, what?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Like for comfort, like grieving together type thing?
We don't know, but they were sleeping together.
Whoa, were they sleeping together before?
They were not sleeping together before, but they became really close and they were sleeping together. And the crazy thing is that after they both passed away, so Brittany and her husband passed away, the mom was like, I need money. Brittany
Hmm.
didn't leave a whole ton. She was spending a lot of what she was making and go off, sis.
Yeah, you
Spend
deserve
what,
it. Hmm.
yeah, because like she didn't have any kids, like live like you're dying for lack of the better words, but do whatever you could do while you're doing it because who are you saving money for
Right.
if you don't have any children? Well, her mom had a ton of diamond jewelry that Simon gifted her, saying, you could trust me, and this is all gifts to you, and I'm taking care of everything. Here you go. I want to just give this to you so you know that I'm actually not the person that everybody is painting me out to be. When her
Hmm.
mom went to go pawn that jewelry, or not pawn it, I want to say, but like sell it again, it was fake diamonds. She found out it was fake diamonds.
Wow. Oh, wow.
So the dad, Brittany's dad, comes out of the woodworks, and I think in a very timely manner, if he's going to come out at any sort of time, come out now. And he's like,
Well,
somebody
yeah.
killed my daughter. And I really genuinely don't think that he was trying to get anything from it. I genuinely think he wanted answers, but that's just the vibe that I get from him. Maybe I'm wrong,
No, I think that's
but
probably spot on. I would want answers.
I would want answers too, whether I was in my daughter's life or not. If he
Hmm.
wanted to be in her life for money, he would have tried to when she was rich, famous on
Yeah.
every
Oh,
single
yeah, I
tabloid.
absolutely agree with that. Unless he tried and she denied, which is also possible.
Fully possible. He ends up getting a court hearing. So Brittany's dad goes in. He's like, I want a hair sample taken. They do a hair sample. They say they found so many heavy metals in her hair. And he goes, give me an answer to this. They
Yeah.
say, was hair dye and hairspray. So the medical examiner, the guy that did the autopsy, said, I'm not talking about any of this. I'm not bringing this back up. I said what I said. I stand by what I said, and that is what it is. But why did Brittany's husband at the time die of almost the same exact things that Brittany died from as well? Very random things.
Yeah.
Pneumonia, anemia. Come on.
Hmm.
It doesn't add up. It doesn't make sense.
It does if we're talking about like, I do remember it coming up that it was possible mold exposure, that they could have had black mold.
Mm-hmm.
And I agree with that. They very well could have. And that could
But
explain why.
why wouldn't the mom have dealt
Well,
with that?
because mold isn't necessarily going to cover every square inch of the house. And if she's like sleeping across in a different area at the house, then she might not be exposed to the extent in which they were.
So then Simon and her slept in the same bed together, and then he dies months and months later.
No, I mean, it's definitely weird, but like
It's
medically, I
weird.
could see where they would think maybe something's in the house. That would be my first thought.
They already tried to do a lawsuit over the construction company that was working with the house, and Brittany's lawyers and the mom basically said, okay, we're just going to settle with them. And once you settle with them, you can't do anything past.
Right.
that you can't sue again. Like you're settling, you're fine, you're done. That's like you wipe your hands. I think you might have told me something about this in the past that Britney's house was owned by several
Mhm.
other celebrities.
So when Britney Spears owned this house, she's the person who sold it to Brittany Murphy. Here's the deal. She moves into this house, and during her time in the house, she starts saying that she is seeing literal spirits.
Shut up.
No, literally. She says she sees a man and a woman in the house. And at this point, she's like, what the hell is going on? She says that the energy
Right.
feels really bad, that it felt very like evil almost in the home. And she kept seeing the spirits of a man and a woman, and it scared the absolute shit out of her. So she hires like a Reiki master to come into the house and cleanse the space. So, according to everything I've read, the Reiki master or the psychic, I think it was a Reiki master, comes into the house to cleanse the house and
God.
tells her flat out, like, this is bad energy, whatever it is in this house. Like, what you're feeling is real. This is bad
Mhm.
energy. And apparently, doesn't even get to fully cleanse the house because they're so freaked out by the house that
The
they want to
Reiki
leave.
master?
Mhm.
No.
Now, of course, all of this is alleged, but I read several different articles on this, and a lot of this is quoted by Brittany.
Ah,
They leave, and Brittany keeps living in the house. And she said that after that, like cleansing, it got out of control. Like the feeling of the walls closing in, like her soul just being drained of energy, just the
holy
feeling of
moly.
evil being watched. It got so bad, and she's never fully described what happened to her, but get this
Yeah.
shit. She left that house one day and everything in it and never came back.
My
Never came
God.
back. She
Like
did
all
not
of
take
the stuff inside of the
She
house, she
left
left.
everything. She left that house and left everything in it. She did not want to go back. She was terrified of that house. She didn't want a single item from the house. She just left everything in the house. And she
What
warned her. She warned
is
Brittany.
that who Brittany Murphy bought it from, like directly? I thought that Madonna maybe owned the house.
Yeah, so I had heard some rumors that Madonna had owned the house actually before Britney Spears, sometime before her.
Mm-hmm.
And then I also read some kind of probably a BS article about like mafia ties to that house, like way
My
back.
God.
But I don't really know. I don't know how true that is. But anyway, so she sells the house to Brittany, or somehow the house gets sold to Brittany. And apparently, Brittany warned Brittany Murphy, like, bruh, the house is
Yeah.
super bad energy. Like, I literally left it and left all my stuff. So she then moves into the house, and so begins this downward spiral of hers. And ultimately, she dies in that very house that Britney Spears was so afraid of, that she up and left all of her belongings and never came back.
Holy crap. I
Mhm.
wonder if Brittany Murphy left some of Britney Spears' belongings in there.
I've
Like,
always wondered that myself. Like, did somebody come and get everything? Did Brittany get the house and everything in it? Was there a middleman? Like, was it sold in
mhm.
between Britney Spears and Brittany Murphy? There's not a lot said about that. Everything I read makes it seem like Brittany Murphy bought the house directly from Britney Spears, or like
Right.
directly after. No, it's really weird. Like, was it something spiritual that caused her death and Simon's death? Was it something malicious, something on the outside, literally a physical force of some kind?
Mhm.
Was she poisoned? Were her and Simon getting all of these medications from some bullshit doctor who would give them whatever they wanted, and their respiratory system was so depressed from all the opioids and benzos that they developed pneumonia?
And they were able to like somehow pay off an
Right.
autopsy
Of course.
report.
I mean, you never know. I mean, they could have
You
been both.
could
They could have both
fully,
gone septic. They could have both been septic from pneumonia, from not being able to breathe fully, from being fucked
right,
up all the time,
right.
you know?
And you just don't know.
And we will never know because proper autopsies were not done. Was an autopsy done on Simon?
The autopsy that was done on Simon said almost the same exact thing as Brittany: pneumonia and anemia.
But it was very like superficial, right? Like they didn't go
Mm-hmm.
into depth with
Which
that.
is crazy because he had like a lot more issues with his health than
Yes.
what Brittany had.
He was having health issues when they were together. Well, what do you guys think happened to Brittany Murphy? Was this something spiritual?
Simon?
Yeah, was it
Oh,
Simon? Yeah, like what
spiritual.
happened to them? What
Yeah.
happened to Brittany and Simon? Was it mold exposure? Was it some outside physical force? Was it a bad doctor? Was
Mm-hmm.
it a spiritual entity? Was it something paranormal? I
I'd love to know.
personally, yeah, I want to know too. I think it's possibly of their own doing,
Mm-hmm.
probably, but you know, I'm never going to say that it's not something else or not something spiritual because I totally believe in that. And I believe
Yeah,
in
you
what that
never
can do to
know.
your psyche. Oh my God. Yeah. So we would love to hear your thoughts. So if you're watching on YouTube, leave a comment
Mm-hmm.
below. If you're watching or listening on the podcast, please
Mm-hmm.
share. We are so happy that you're listening. We're still very new. We love doing this. We love bringing all of these topics to light because they're not really talked about anymore. And they
I
should be because,
know.
yeah, there's no answers. This is definitely like pop culture, but in my opinion, most definitely a conspiracy because their deaths are so bizarre.
Please check us out on YouTube. Please check us out we're on Amazon Music, we're on Spotify, we're on
Apple.
Android podcast, but all of it. I am Jen. This is Chris, and we love you so much. Thank you for listening and thank you for watching. We love you. Good night.
Love you. Bye.